Right, hey everybody, Matt here from Around Square, and I just wanted to do a little video to introduce the new things that we have dropping in our July 2021 product launch. So first off, I'm going to run through a few variants of the MKUltras that are dropping this Friday. Then I'm going to get into some knuckle bones, and then I'll finish off with our brand new rings. All right. So to start off, some new variants of the Jade Bodhi MKUltras. All right, starting off with these guys because I have had a hard time putting them down. These are enormous. I don't even know what to call them. They're super jumbos or something. We got these in last month, and I didn't have any of the exotics to string them up with, so we weren't able to launch them. And in the meantime, I've really gotten attached to my own set of these guys. They're huge, right? And they definitely make a statement when you're wearing them. But more than anything, they're just they're so nice to handle because the beads are just super tactile. And the clack is unmatched. Just a very nice, mellow, organic kind of sound. Anyways, I want to show you a comparison between the different sizes here. When we first launched the Ultras, we had what we called the small and the large. And at the time, that was all we were able to get in. Then in our subsequent launch, we introduced what we called the jumbos. And at the time, I thought these were huge. But now, check them out beside the super jumbos. Yeah, I don't know what to say. But I think some people are going to like these as much as I do. They probably won't be for everybody. The beads are big, and I wanted to stick with the odd number of the Jade Bodhi beads. And so on the wrist, if you've got small wrists, small hands, you may find them a little bit big. They're a touch big for me because I'm pretty skinny. But yeah, these guys have, I think, 15 beads, and you're welcome to take some off if they're a bit big for you. But I like this number just for handling. And to be honest, I play with them more than I wear them on my wrist. Often they're in and out of my pocket instead of on my wrist anyways. So yeah, that's these guys. And then for the other variants of the Jade Bodhis, we've got 3 new colorways, and these are all natural. Okay, we've got kind of a tan color, like earth tone, a little bit beigeish brown, not too dark. This is a natural color. It's not like some of the dark brown ones that you might see online if you're poking around. The dark brown ones are probably deep fried. It's kind of an unnatural color. These are natural. All right, and we're pairing them with a 11.8 millimeter Zerk bead. So these are roughly comparable to the large size, a little bit bigger than our large size, a little bit smaller than what we called the jumbo last time. All right. Then we've got the these are green, but it's not like a bright, not like a super saturated green like the real jade colored ones that we had launched previously. This is much more understated, and the color varies. It's really a nice natural look. Even within individual beads, you get some, I don't know if you can see this one, but it's got kind of white on one end and kind of a brownish green on the other end. So these, I don't know, it's got a really nice vibe to it because it is just very natural and kind of subtle variations. All right. And then we have a kind of a earth tone mix and match pack. These go from kind of that brownish color to greenish color and some kind of white, but not pure white in there as well. So for all 3 of these, we're mixing them with the 11.8 millimeter Zerk bead. I could foreseeably in the future do some with a larger bead, especially these guys here are a little bit bigger. They're more like the jumbo size. And so they would be nice with a bigger bead here. But at the current moment, I don't have any 15 millimeter Zerk beads or Mokume. So this is what we got. And I think they look pretty great. I mean, the smaller boss bead is just kind of tucks right in there, and it's nice on the wrist, right? You can see. Yeah. Anyways, so we got those guys. That's the Jade Bodhis. We are probably going to be able to restock some of the other white Jade Bodhis because we do have some Zircuti beads and we've got some Mokutai as well. I should mention these jumbos or super jumbos. We're going to offer them with a Zircuti boss or a Mokutai this time around. So we got some of each. So they're similar price, similar look. It's just, you know, whatever flavor you prefer. Okay. Then we're going to be able to restock some of the Zircuti Ultras in the OG size as well. And we got a couple of options here. I think I probably have enough just for these two sets, but we got one that's more purplish and one that's more kind of in the blue-gray range. Okay. And then for the first time, we've got some Mokutai beads, and I've done up one set of Mokutai in the 10 millimeter, the Deca size, and I've paired that with a 15 millimeter boss. It's a beautiful little set. I love the 10 millimeter size just for playing and for wearing. So anyways, yeah, just one set of those guys at the moment. Then sticking with the exotics, let's just run through. I've got these guys. No, you can't have them all. This is Zircuti Sigma beads. So you can see the color variation here. There are some that are a little bit purplish, but they're more towards the silver and blue-gray range. Okay, really beautiful. I've been, I strung up a set of mine. I don't always claim a set of exotics for myself because I kind of try to stick with titanium for my own goods. But I was too smitten with these guys, and so I've strung them up and been playing them nonstop. I absolutely love them. If you've been wondering about the cord, I've kind of hinted at and been a little bit coy about not giving too many details. This is actually silk, and it's not a super refined, delicate silk. It's a more of a industrial silk, if you could call it that. But it is silk, and it has that really nice soft feel. And yeah, we're playing around with it. We've hooked up with a supplier that's doing some custom weaves for us. We're trying to mimic basically some of the features of the 550 paracord, because 550 paracord is great, but I just always wanted some materials to upgrade, especially on the exotic sets. And this is holding up extremely well. The supplier that makes this for us actually makes mountaineering ropes out of silk as well. And it's just like it's a terrific material. And I've been shocked with how little fraying and how well this is wearing. So not offering the silk cord at the present time, but watch for it in the future. We're definitely working hard to get new samples in. Okay. Yeah, so we've got Zircuti Sigmas for you all. And I guess on the topic of cords, I can go into a little bit more. We've also been working with a Kevlar supplier on some custom weaves. Those of you who have tried the stuff that I sold the long form ultras on, I really like it. It works well for the long form, but I'm not 1,000% satisfied with it. The weave is not round on that stuff. It's a little bit rectangular, and it's not a super snug fit. So it's enough when you have that double wrap. It's enough to secure the bead in there and hold it on pretty well, especially in the double wrap because the tension is a bit distributed. But for the original setup of the Ultras, I find that Kevlar cord that I've been using for the long form isn't quite secure enough. That's why I haven't switched over to selling the Kevlar cord, either on its own or with all of the Ultras. I'm not fully satisfied with it for the original setup, but I do like it on the long form Ultras. Okay, but yeah, we're looking at some custom weaves of more kind of roundish Kevlar cord that mimics the thickness of 550, as well as some stuff that's kind of approximately the same as Sterling ropes, that 2mm accessory cord that I use on most of the Ultras. And I'm really liking this second round of samples of the Kevlar cord. So stay tuned for that. I've got a couple sets set up on the new sample stuff, and I'm loving it. It's holding up really well. And the boss is just the level of snugness that I always had wanted. So that's promising. Let's see. I think I'll move over to some knuckle bones. So for the first time, we are bringing in the mini and the micro knuckle bones in Zerk. Okay, so this has been a long favorite. The Zerk material is beautiful, no denying that. It's got this kind of dark gray, charcoal, almost black look to it. It almost has a bit of a depth to it as well, even though it's, it's clearly opaque. But it's a really nice look, nice finish, and it holds up well, good weight. Similar to, I guess, stainless steel is probably the closest. But yeah, the mini and the micro will be available for the first time. And also with the micro knuckle bones, for the first time, we've got a stainless steel in a sandblasted finish. So the stainless steel micro knuckle bones have been kind of a cult favorite. People always have, appreciated the small size stainless steel. Whoops. Clearly a little out of practice playing with the micro. I usually use a mini myself. Anyways, but one nice thing about the sandblasted is if it's at all humid or hot and your hands are on a polished surface, it can get a bit sticky. And so that's part of the reason why I've always loved the titanium ones, is the sandblasted finish. So we figured we'd mix it up a little bit and start offering the stainless steel also in a sandblasted finish. And it's soft, it feels kind of velvety, and it'll age well. It'll kind of lose any bit of roughness and kind of morph into more of a tumbled finish over time, just like the titanium ones do. So yeah, those will be launching as well. And then I guess that's it, except for our rings. And I know I've been kind of hyping up the rings a little bit, and I made you sit through this whole video until I got there. But yeah, I'm really excited for these. They turned out beautifully. Some projects go more easily than others. And this project, it moved along super smoothly. Got a really great supplier, very accommodating. And yeah, so I'm going to just give a quick rundown of a few things about the rings. So the dimensions of them are 7.5 wide by 3 millimeters in thickness. Okay, so it's a very beefy ring by most standards. You can find stuff out there that's like wider and also stuff that's thicker, but this is kind of a sweet spot, in my opinion, for something that's good and beefy and has a feeling of substance to it, but it's also like comfortable enough for daily wear. I find with some of the bigger ones, you really notice them if you go to like pick up a shovel or whatever, that you're feeling the ring jamming into you. And these ones, you do feel it, but it's still plenty comfortable, in my opinion. So we're gonna have we got titanium, nice light. That's the lightest of them. That's what I've got here on my middle finger. Then we've got the Damascus steel, which is nicely etched. It's a deep etch. It stands out very nicely, but it's not uncomfortable. You can wear it. You'll feel it like a little bit of roughness when you first start wearing it, but within a couple of hours you'll probably forget about it. So it's what can you say? The Damascus, it's really in its element with jewelry kind of stuff like this. Yeah. Then we got copper, and the copper, both the copper and the brass are raw. So no surface treatment or anything. So these will patina nicely. I've been wearing this one on my pinky, and it's getting a little bit of patina, but I haven't been forcing it or anything. It's just naturally aging, just kind of yeah. There you have it. Then what do we got? We got the black Zerk. So this is a perfect complement for the knuckle bones, right? And this is one, I don't know if it'll show up on the video at all, but we got the logo etched on the inside of these guys, and that's the same for all of them. It shows up nicely on pretty much all of them except for the Damascus, the logo. Because of the texture of the Damascus, you don't see the logo much, but it's there. And then we've got stainless steel, which is kind of mid-weight, and then we've got tungsten. Now this is the first product that we have offered in tungsten, and I've been shocked. Tungsten was one of the first samples that I got. I've actually, for a long time, I was looking at doing Biglarian tungsten just because it has some really nice features. It's super scratch resistant. It's got a really high hardness compared to other metals. So I had a tungsten sample that I was wearing kind of off and on with my titanium sample, And the titanium is already reasonably hard, but it was getting all scratched up and the surface was getting dull, and the tungsten still looked brand new. It's shocking. I don't know. It's I mean, it is possible to break it, but I've dropped mine and no, not even a scratch. So I don't want to overpromise on the tungsten. Do your own research, but it's a very scratch resistant material and looks really nice over time. So I'm thinking I actually have claimed a pinky ring in the tungsten as well, just because I want to kind of mix it up. I like the heavy weight on the pinky ring for some reason. I don't know, just like clacking it on stuff. But yeah, you can. These are designed for. Designed first and foremost to be like a nice ring, just like a substantial, good feeling ring that has a bit of a presence, but still comfortable to wear. But I also wanted to create a ring that was going to be really good for manipulation. And I'm no expert, but I before doing this, I talked to a number of people about it and got some input from people that I saw online, and I bought a ton of samples of just like cheap stainless steel rings in all different sizes and shapes and whatever on Amazon. So I really explored what was out there, and this is where I settled on. So these guys have what they call a comfort fit. So it's like slightly domed, convex on the inside, so you don't feel it jabbing into you as much. The edges are all rounded, and then they're domed on the top as well. But it's not a super like pronounced convex curve. It's pretty light. So if you're doing, I can't do it, but like the tricks where you're rolling the rings around, it's still got pretty good stability there on the external surface. So yeah, this if you want to check out ring manipulation stuff and get into it and explore that space, there's a couple of great videos on YouTube. I'll try and pass on links and stuff in the Facebook group or down below in the comments. If you know any videos, feel free to post links. But yeah, I'm really digging it. Just this basic griffin roll is what I've been working on, and honestly, it's plenty for me. Like I don't need 1,000 tricks with a thing. If I want to do 1,000 tricks, I'll pull out my Buglary and start working on the 999 that I don't know yet. But yeah, I think that's probably gonna be it for this video. Again, longer than I would have liked, but yeah, any questions, hit me up in the comments or in one of the communities online, and I'll do my best to respond. And it's already Wednesday. I can't believe it. I've got a ton of work to do, so I'm going to sign off and get up here.